So Jemma Sanderson from Cooper Partners, you had a great presentation on contributions, fairly dry topic.
Very dry.
You make it sound interesting.
I try.
How complex is the whole area? You said you could have talked for 2 weeks on it.
Well, maybe not 2 weeks, but probably 2 days you could talk on it. It is very complex, and it sounds easy in terms of you've got one concessional cap and you've got a non-concessional cap and you can bring forward, but the way those interact with other caps and the other things that might be happening within your self-managed super fund, eligibility, everything, it is an absolute minefield, so it is quite difficult.
There was a couple of areas you talked about, and then gave the statement from the taxation department that said nothing. I mean, you said, well, that's not very helpful. Does that make it even harder for you?
It does, because really with a lot of these areas, the tax office guidance is all we really have to go on, and there's many areas of contentious issues in the legislation, and in terms of guidance, in the absence of case law, the tax office is what we have to go on until someone does challenge perhaps the tax office's view through the courts, and then we might have something to hang our hats on, but at this stage really we have to go with what the tax office view is.
And does that happen very often? I mean, are you all actually waiting for someone to actually stump up and have a go?
We are, and that's why I was quite... I heard last August about a potential case about mistaken contributions, and I was chatting to the lawyer, and I was very excited. It's not that exciting, but it's quite excited when you can get some certainty around those sort of things. But then that fell through, then they resolved the issue. But it would have been nice if they had pushed through, and with these sort of things, the tax office also wants to know what the law does say and what the interpretation is by the courts, and they will often provide funding for that. But they can be very long and extensive and expensive scenarios. I mean, SPAA and other industry bodies are certainly submitting to Treasury that it doesn't have to be that difficult. And at the moment, the mistaken contributions, someone's gone over their cap, surely they should be able to receive a refund of the excess. And when Simpler Super first came out, that was actually the intention, was that if you do go over your cap, you receive a refund. But the way the legislation was actually drafted was you can only receive a refund in very, very narrow circumstances.
Right. Would you have a basic tip or 3 fundamental tips to give the advisors?
Well, really, it's about education and educating your clients to understand really how the caps work, but in the absence of them really understanding that, to contact you, the advisor, so that if they were looking at making a contribution to the fund, contacting you to say, right, okay, well, we will review your contributions to date for the last 2 years. Have you already triggered one of these bring forwards? And just assessing that rather than blindly putting money into the fund and going on from there and just hoping that it's not excessive. So education's always a massive one, and then it's just really reviewing what you may have reported and trying to keep abreast of everything that's going on.
Which I think that's the 2 main things of the conference, isn't it? Education and just keeping an eye on exactly what it is that you're doing.
But hopefully there'll be some things that come out that will assist us all, and someone will come to their senses and extend the caps and things like that. But at this stage we just don't know.
Good on you, Jemma. Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Happy birthday for you for tomorrow as well, Andrew.